Ladies and gentlemen, I came here today to tell you something you may have forgotten. You were created for a purpose. You were designed with gifts, talents, and a vision burning inside of you. But somewhere along the way, life tried to distract you. People tried to define you. Circumstances tried to break you. But hear me now. You must believe in yourself. You cannot rise higher than your belief. You cannot walk in victory when you're chained by self-doubt. It's not enough to have a dream. You have to believe that you are worthy of it, equipped for it, and called to it. When you stop believing in yourself, you start shrinking your vision. You settle for less. You water down your purpose. You dim your own light. But I came to shake somebody awake today. You have a destiny. You have a future. You have a dream inside of you that matters. You've got to stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop waiting for people's approval. Stop waiting for the fear to disappear. Fear will never disappear, but faith, belief, and determination will push you right through it. Focus on your dreams. When distractions come, and they will, keep your eyes forward. When critics talk, and they will, keep your focus steady. When obstacles rise, and they will, remind yourself, I was built for this. I was called for this. I believe in what God put in me. You don't have to explain your dream to everybody. You don't have to convince the doubters. You just have to keep walking, keep building. Keep believing. Stay focused. You will never see the harvest if you keep walking off the field every time the weather gets rough. So today, I challenge you. Speak over yourself. Declare over yourself. Say, I am enough. I am able. I will overcome. My dream is worth the fight. Believe in yourself. Not because you're perfect, but because you were called. Focus on your dreams. Not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. Rise up. Dust yourself off. Lock your eyes on the vision, and don't you dare quit. Let me tell you something important today. Your belief in yourself determines how far you can go. It shapes the path you walk, it governs the doors you dare to knock on, and it controls the mountains you even attempt to climb. Before anyone else can count you out, before any challenge can rise against you, before any obstacle stands in your way, the very first battle is the one inside your own mind. If you don't believe you can, you've already lost the battle. You can have the greatest potential. You can be surrounded by all the right tools. You can even have people cheering for you. But if deep inside your heart you are doubting yourself, if deep inside your mind you are whispering, I'm not enough, I can't do this, this is too big for me, then you have already stepped away from victory before the fight has even started. Your own belief sets the ceiling over your life. Not your background, not your resources, not your family, not your critics, your own belief. It is not that people fail because they lack opportunity. It's not always because they lack talent. Many people fail simply because they never believed they had permission to succeed. They never believed they were allowed to take up space, to dream big, to stretch beyond what others expected of them. And so they stayed small, not because the world forced them into a corner, but because their own mind convinced them that was where they belonged. When you rise each morning and look in the mirror, who do you see? Do you see someone full of potential, someone who can rise up from mistakes, someone who can conquer even the hardest seasons? Or do you see someone small, someone unworthy, someone stuck in yesterday's failures? Listen to me. You cannot walk into tomorrow carrying the chains of yesterday's doubt. You cannot walk into your future carrying the baggage of being not good enough. If you don't believe you can, you are already writing the end of your own story. The people who achieve great things are not always the most talented, the most gifted, or the most well-connected. More often, they are the ones who dare to believe. They are the ones who look at a challenge and say, I don't know how I will win, but I believe that I will. They are the ones who, even when they fail, even when they fall, get back up and say, this setback does not define me. They are the ones who refuse to let their mistakes name them, who refuse to let their past dictate their worth, who refuse to let fear steal their future. You see, belief is powerful. Belief will drive you to try again when others walk away. Belief will push you to stand up when everyone says, stay down. Belief will carry you through sleepless nights, painful rejections and lonely seasons. Belief is not a magic wand that makes life easy. It is the fire inside you that keeps burning when everything around you is cold. It is the voice inside that says, I may not see the way yet, but I will not give up here. Too many people are waiting for external confirmation before they believe in themselves. They are waiting for applause, waiting for someone to come and crown them with approval, waiting for circumstances to line up perfectly before they take a step forward. But that's not how it works. You have to crown yourself. You have to rise up without applause. You have to believe when no one else believes. You have to take the step even when the ground feels shaky. Your dream, your calling, your purpose, they all demand that you show up with belief. Not arrogance, not pride, but a quiet, unshakable confidence that says, I belong here. I have something to offer. I will keep going. And when life hits you with storms, because it will, when people disappoint you, because they will, when you face rejection, failure, or delay, because you will need that belief to hold you steady. I've seen too many people shrink their dreams because they were afraid they couldn't handle disappointment. They never applied, never auditioned, never asked, never stepped forward, not because they lacked ability, but because they lacked belief. They disqualified themselves before the world even had a chance to see them. They lowered the bar, they played it safe, they stayed quiet, all because they had convinced themselves they weren't worthy. But you are worthy. Not because you are perfect, not because you have everything figured out, but because you were created with purpose. There is no one else on this earth who carries your unique blend of gifts, personality, experience, and voice. If you don't show up, the world is missing something. If you don't believe in yourself, you are robbing the world of the impact only you can make. I know you've been through things that shook your confidence. I know you've had moments where you looked around and thought, what am I even doing? Who am I to dream this big? Who am I to try? But let me remind you, you are stronger than you think. You are braver than you know. You have walked through things that should have broken you, but you're still standing. You have survived storms you never thought you'd make it through, and here you are. So why would you doubt yourself now? Why would you let fear have the final word? Why would you tell yourself I can't when life has already shown you that you can? Hear me today. You are capable. You are worthy. You are enough. Not someday in the future. Not after you achieve more. Not after you become more polished. Right now, today. You are enough to believe in, to invest in, to fight for. When you believe in yourself, you open the door for growth, for change, for opportunity. You give yourself permission to try, to fail, to learn, to rise again. You release yourself from the prison of perfectionism and you step into the freedom of progress. And that, my friend, is how you move forward. That is how you break through. That is how you go farther than you ever imagined. So today I challenge you. Take a deep breath, look yourself in the mirror and declare, I believe in me. Not because it's easy, not because you have it all figured out, but because you choose to. Your belief is the seed. Plant it, water it, protect it, and watch how far it will take you. The battle is already half won when you decide to believe. Don't let self-doubt steal what's been placed inside you. You were made for more. Now go. Walk like you believe it. Fear will never fully disappear, but belief can push you through it. Courage is not the absence of fear, but moving forward despite it. We often think that the brave people we admire, the leaders, the dreamers, the builders, the pioneers, are somehow fearless, untouched by doubt or worry. But the truth is they feel fear just like everyone else. The difference is they do not let fear have the final word. They do not sit still waiting for fear to leave before they take action. They walk forward carrying the fear with them, but refusing to let it control their steps. Fear is part of the human condition. You cannot escape it, no matter how strong you become, no matter how experienced or successful you get. You will always face moments when your heart races, when your mind fills with questions, when your stomach tightens with anxiety. Fear is the voice that whispers, what if you fail? What if you're not enough? What if they reject you? What if you lose everything you've worked for? That voice does not magically disappear as you grow. In fact, the more you step into bigger opportunities, the louder fear can become, because the stakes feel higher, the challenges seem greater, and the risks appear sharper. But here's the secret. Fear is not your enemy. Fear is not a sign that you should stop. Fear is not a signal that you are weak or incapable. Fear is simply a sign that you are standing at the edge of something meaningful, something that matters to you. You don't feel fear when you're playing it safe. You don't feel fear when you're staying inside your comfort zone, doing the same familiar things you've always done. You feel fear when you're stepping into growth, when you're reaching for something beyond your current limits, when you're daring to believe in a future that stretches you. If you wait for fear to go away before you act, you will wait your whole life. If you tell yourself, I'll take the leap when I feel more confident, or I'll chase my dream when I'm no longer scared, you will stay frozen. You will watch opportunities pass you by because you are waiting for a perfect emotional state that will never come. The people who move forward, the people who build, the people who rise, they feel the same fear, but they walk anyway. They don't deny the fear, they just don't bow down to it. Belief is what carries you through fear. Belief is the quiet, steady flame inside that says, I may be scared, but I'm still going. Belief is the determination to act, not because you have no fear, but because you trust that something greater is on the other side of the fear. Belief reminds you of your purpose when fear tries to make you small. Belief keeps you focused on the dream when fear tries to magnify the risks. Belief helps you lift your eyes above the storm, above the noise, above the doubt, and see the possibility waiting for you on the other side. Courage is not a magical feeling of power and confidence that washes over you before you act. Courage is the decision to act while you are scared. It is the choice to take one step forward even as your hands tremble, even as your mind races, even as your heart pounds. Courage is not loud. It does not always roar. Sometimes courage is the quiet voice at the end of the day that says, I will try again tomorrow. Sometimes courage is getting back up after falling, even when you feel broken. Sometimes courage is showing up for yourself when no one else does. I know you have dreams inside you that scare you. I know you have ideas, goals, visions, longings that make you hesitate because you wonder, what if I'm not good enough? What if I can't pull this off? What if I try and I fall flat on my face? And I want to tell you today, yes, you might fail, you might fall, you might face rejection. You might make mistakes, but you also might soar, you might grow, you might touch lives, you might discover strength you didn't even know was inside you. Fear will point out everything that could go wrong. Fear will flood your mind with worst-case scenarios. But belief will remind you of why you started. Belief will anchor you in your purpose. Belief will remind you that you were made for more than standing still. Belief will whisper, yes, you're scared, but yes, you can. Think back to your life. How many times have you faced something you were scared of, but you walked through it anyway? How many times did you survive things you once thought were impossible? You have already proven to yourself that you can feel fear and still move forward. You have already shown that you are stronger than your worst moments. You have already survived storms you thought would break you. So why stop now? Why let fear steal your future when you've already come so far? Why let it talk you out of your dream when you've already conquered so much, so much? Every time you face something that scares you, you have two choices. You can shrink back or you can rise up. Shrinking feels safer, but it leads to regret. Rising feels scary, but it leads to growth. You get to decide which path you will take, moment by moment, choice by choice. Let me remind you, no one gets to skip the fear. Not the heroes you admire, not the leaders you follow, not the mentors you look up to. They all face fear, but they refuse to let fear sit in the driver's seat. They keep going, even when it's hard, even when it's uncertain, even when they're shaking inside. You are no different. You have that same ability. You have that same choice. You have that same power inside you. And it all begins with belief. Belief that you are called, belief that you are capable, belief that you are worthy, belief that the dream inside you matters. Today, I challenge you. Stop waiting for the fear to go away. Stop waiting to feel perfectly ready. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is now. The perfect time is when you decide to move. The perfect condition is when you dare to say, I'm scared, but I'm going anyway. Fear will never fully disappear, but belief will carry you forward. Courage will grow each time you face the fear and walk through it. You don't need a fearless life. You need a faithful life. A life that keeps walking, keeps trying, keeps dreaming, keeps believing, no matter how loud the fear becomes. So rise up, stand tall, face the fear, and walk forward knowing that belief, not fear, is what defines your future. You were made for more. Go claim it. Distractions, critics, and obstacles are guaranteed. Focus is your weapon. Don't let outside noise pull you away from your purpose. This is one of the most important truths you must understand if you are determined to chase after your dreams. You will never have a clear, smooth, perfect path where everything lines up neatly, where everyone claps for you, and where no challenges rise against you. It's easy to imagine that success will come when conditions are right, when people support you, when the world opens doors, and when you finally feel ready. But let me tell you, the path to anything meaningful is always cluttered. The road to purpose is filled with distractions trying to pull you off track, critics trying to make you doubt yourself, and obstacles trying to block your way. If you don't learn how to hold on to your focus, you will be swept away by the noise. The truth is, not everyone will understand your dream, Not everyone will believe in what you're called to do. Some people will doubt you. Some people will criticize you. Some people will talk behind your back, roll their eyes, or even try to sabotage your efforts. But hear me now. Their opinions are not your assignment. Their judgments are not your purpose. You were not put on this earth to win their approval. You are not called to explain or defend every step you take. Your job is to focus as your shield. Focus is your compass. Focus is the wall you build between you and the noise so you can keep moving toward the future you are building. Distractions come in many forms. Sometimes they are the subtle, everyday interruptions, the endless scrolling, the comparison to others, the small comforts that pull you away from the hard work. Sometimes they are disguised as opportunities that actually lead you off course, tempting you to chase what's popular instead of what's purposeful. Whatever shape they take, you must be vigilant, because distractions will rob you of your time, your energy, and your clarity if you let them. You only have so much focus to spend each day. Why waste it on things that don't build your future? And then there are the critics. The people who will question your motives, who will doubt your abilities, who will remind you of your past failures. Sometimes they do it openly, sometimes they do it quietly with a look, a shrug, or a dismissive word. You must understand, criticism is part of the journey. If you wait for universal approval, you will never move. If you need everyone's support before you start, you will stay stuck. Critics are guaranteed, but they only win if you stop. They only gain power if you hand them your attention. You don't owe them explanations. You don't have to convince them. Let your work, your growth, your consistency speak louder than their words. And what about obstacles? Oh, they will come. Setbacks, delays, detours. These are part of the process. Sometimes the obstacle is external. A door closes, a resource dries up, a plan falls apart. Sometimes the obstacle is internal. You lose motivation, you face burnout, you battle discouragement. But hear me well. Obstacles are not the end. They are the test. They are the stretching ground where you learn endurance, patience, and resilience. Anyone can move forward when the path is easy. What separates the dreamer from the doer is the ability to stay focused when things get hard. You must learn to protect your focus like a treasure. Guard your mind, guard your time, guard your heart. Not everything deserves your attention. Not every argument deserves your energy. Not every invitation deserves your yes. You have a limited amount of time on this earth, and every moment you spend distracted is a moment you cannot recover. Focus allows you to prioritize what matters most. It sharpens your vision. It keeps you aligned with your purpose when everything around you tries to pull you away. Focus is not just about hard work. It's about clear work. It's about knowing where you are going and why. It's about saying no to good things so you can say yes to the right things. It's about remembering that not every battle is yours to fight, not every conversation is yours to join, and not every trend is yours to follow. Focus is a discipline, a practice you must cultivate every day. People may misunderstand you. They may say you're too intense, too ambitious, too focused. Let them say it. Let them misunderstand. While they are talking, you are building. While they are watching, you are growing. While they are speculating, you are stepping forward. You don't have time to stop and explain yourself to every doubter. You don't have time to defend your dream to people who were never meant to carry it. Stay locked in. Keep your eyes on the road ahead. It's easy to get tired. It's easy to want to give up when distractions keep piling up, when critics keep talking, when obstacles keep rising. But this is where your focus becomes your weapon. This is where you dig deep and remind yourself why you started. This is where you remember that your calling is bigger than your comfort, that your purpose is worth the fight. Every time you push past a distraction, you strengthen your focus. Every time you ignore a critic, you reclaim your power. Every time you overcome an obstacle, you increase your capacity. Focus is not a one-time decision. It is a daily choice. You wake up each morning and decide, today I will focus on what matters. Today I will invest my energy wisely. Today I will not be moved by noise, by doubt, by delay. And little by little, day by day, that focus will carry you forward. You will look back one day and realize that the distractions, the critics, the obstacles, they didn't stop you. They sharpened you. They shaped you. They taught you to rise above what others get stuck in. They taught you to build something stronger, something deeper, something lasting. So hear me today. Don't let outside noise pull you away from your purpose. Your life is too precious. Your dream is too important. Your calling is too sacred. Focus is your weapon. Use it wisely. Use it boldly. Use it every single day. And no matter what rises against you, keep moving forward. You were made for this. Keep your eyes on the vision. Keep your heart anchored in purpose. And don't you dare stop. No, you can waste years of your life trying to explain yourself to people who were never meant to carry your dream. You can exhaust your energy trying to make them see your vision, trying to convince them that you are serious, trying to prove that you are capable, worthy, or ready. But let me tell you plainly, it is your responsibility, your assignment, your mission, and not everyone has the eyes to see it or the heart to understand it. That doesn't mean your dream is wrong. That doesn't mean you are foolish. It simply means that not every voice deserves a front row seat in your life. There will always be people who question why you are doing what you are doing. They will ask, why don't you just take the safe route? Or why can't you be content with what you have? Or why are you working so hard for something that might not work out? They will see the risks, but not the rewards. They will notice the sacrifice, but not the purpose. They will measure you by what's common, not by what's possible. And if you let their questions plant doubt in your heart, you will start shrinking yourself down just to fit their understanding. But listen to me carefully. You don't owe them an explanation. You don't owe them a detailed defense of your passion, your goals, or your plans. You don't need their permission to move forward. You don't need their validation to keep building. You don't need their applause to keep going. You are allowed to outgrow their expectations. You are allowed to move in a direction they don't understand. You are allowed to chase after something they cannot see. If you waste your time explaining yourself to every doubter, you will lose momentum. If you stop to defend your dream to every critic, you will lose precious time and energy. You have work to do. You have mountains to climb. You have lessons to learn. You have skills to sharpen. You have a purpose to fulfill. You do not have time to sit and wait for universal approval. You do not have time to answer every skeptical voice. Let them wonder. Let them question. Let them sit in confusion if they must. You keep moving. You stay focused on the assignment you've been given. Sometimes the hardest critics are the ones closest to us. Family, friends, mentors, people we respect. When they don't understand our dream, it cuts deep. We want their blessing. We want their support. And when they hesitate or doubt, it can shake us to the core. But even then, you must remember, your purpose is not their burden. You were not placed on this earth to live a life that makes everyone else comfortable. You were not created to play small so that no one feels challenged by your growth. You are not called to silence your dreams just to maintain someone else's approval. Some people will only understand after you succeed. Some people will only see the vision after you've already built it. Some people will only believe after the breakthrough happens. And that's okay. You do not need to drag them along. You do not need to carry their disbelief on your shoulders. You are free to walk forward even if they don't get it. You are free to keep building even if they don't believe. You are free to keep dreaming even if they doubt. Every great story of success is filled with moments when the dreamer had to walk alone, when they had to keep moving without the crowd, when they had to press forward even when no one else clapped for them. Think of the inventors, the artists, the entrepreneurs, the leaders, the pioneers. Think of how many people must have told them that will never work. Or who do you think you are? Or why don't you just stick to what's safe? But they didn't stop. They didn't abandon the dream just because others couldn't see it. They understood that not everyone is meant to understand at the beginning. You must develop the strength to carry your dream without constant explanation. You must develop the maturity to let people misunderstand you without losing focus. You must develop the resilience to keep moving even when people you love don't fully get why you are moving in this direction. This is part of the price of purpose. This is part of the weight of carrying a vision. It is not always comfortable. It is not always easy, but it is worth it. Sometimes silence is your best answer. Let your work speak. Let your progress speak. Let your growth speak. Let your consistency speak. In time, the results will speak louder than any explanation you could have given. In time, the transformation in your life will be undeniable. In time, even those who doubted will see the fruit of what you have been building in faith. Do not let the fear of being misunderstood stop you. Do not let the weight of needing to explain yourself pull you off track. Do not let the discomfort of walking forward without full support make you abandon what you know in your heart you are meant to do. You have been entrusted with this dream for a reason. You have been given this purpose for a reason. You have been called to this path for a reason. And that reason is bigger than other people's approval. That reason is stronger than other people's understanding. So today, release the burden of over-explaining. Release the need for universal agreement. Release the desire to have every person clap for you. Focus your energy on the work, on the mission, on the purpose. Focus on the people you are meant to serve, the impact you are meant to make, the life you are meant to live. There will be time later, once the work is done, for people to catch up and understand. But right now, you must move. Right now, you must act. Right now, you must stay faithful to the call, even if you walk it alone. Remember, you don't owe everyone an explanation for your dream. Not everyone will understand, and that's not your burden to carry. Carry your dream with strength. Carry it with grace. Carry it with focus. And keep walking, because your future is waiting. The journey toward your dream will not always be glamorous. There will be days when the work feels heavy, when the excitement fades, when the results seem small, and when quitting looks far more attractive than continuing. There will be moments when you feel invisible, when you wonder if your efforts are making any difference, when you doubt whether the sacrifices are worth it. And in those moments, the people who keep going, the ones who stay on the field, who keep showing up, who keep working even when no one is watching, are the ones who eventually see their dreams come to life. It is not enough to start strong. Anyone can be excited in the beginning. Anyone can post big plans and make big declarations when the idea is fresh and the energy is high. But starting is not the challenge. Finishing is. Staying consistent, staying persistent, staying focused even when the process feels slow or painful or unclear is what makes the difference. Yes, the difference. Many people give up not because they lack talent, not because they lack opportunity, but because they lack the persistence to keep going when things get hard. The truth is, the path to any great achievement is filled with hard days, ordinary days, days when you wake up and you don't feel inspired, days when progress is invisible, but what you do on those days matters most. Showing up consistently, even when the conditions are tough, is what builds momentum. It's what develops resilience. It's what sharpens your character. It's what transforms raw potential into real, visible results. Think of a farmer planting seed. The farmer cannot control the weather, cannot force the rain to come, cannot predict the exact day the crop will break through the soil. But the farmer can control the daily work, the planting, the watering, the weeding, the tending. There are days when the ground looks barren. There are days when it seems nothing is happening. But the farmer knows that growth is taking place underground, where it cannot yet be seen. The same is true for you. There will be seasons when the results are invisible, when progress is happening beneath the surface, when nothing seems to be moving. But you must keep showing up, keep working, keep nurturing the dream. Consistency is not just about doing big things once in a while. It's about doing small things regularly. It's about stacking brick upon brick, day after day, until something beautiful and lasting is built. It's about staying faithful in the small tasks, the ordinary routines, the unglamorous disciplines that move you closer to your goal. Anyone can show up on the good days, but the ones who succeed are the ones who show up on the hard days, the boring days, the frustrating days. Persistence is the refusal to give up when the breakthrough takes longer than expected. Persistence is deciding, I will keep going, even when I'm tired, even when I'm discouraged, even when I'm tempted to quit. It's the steady, stubborn commitment to keep moving forward, one step at a time, even when the road is long. Every dream faces resistance. Every goal encounters setbacks. Persistence is what pushes you through those walls, through the disappointment, through the delay. And hear me now, persistence is not about perfection. It's not about never falling, never failing, never struggling. You will fall, you will fail, you will struggle. But persistence means you get back up, you learn, you adjust, you keep going. Failure is not final unless you quit. Setbacks do not define you unless you let them stop you. Persistence gives you the power to outlast the obstacles, to outwork the opposition, to keep climbing when others turn back. Staying on the field, even when the conditions are tough, means you are committed for the long haul. It means you don't let temporary discomfort distract you from permanent purpose. It means you understand that growth takes time, that mastery takes repetition, that excellence takes investment. You cannot microwave success. You cannot shortcut greatness. You must earn it, and you earn it through consistent effort over time. There will be voices that tell you to stop. There will be moments when you wonder if you're wasting your time. There will be temptations to chase something easier, something quicker, something more immediately rewarding. But listen to me, stay on the field. Keep working your craft, keep refining your skills, keep showing up with excellence, even when no one else notices, because what you are building matters, what you are planting matters, what you are persisting in matters. Every great athlete, every great artist, every great leader, every great entrepreneur has had to wrestle through tough conditions. They have had to train when it was painful. They have had to create when they felt blocked. They have had to lead when they were misunderstood. They have had to push through seasons of discouragement, doubt, and disappointment. But they kept going. They didn't give up when it got hard. They didn't abandon the dream when results were slow. They stayed on the field. They kept working. And you must do the same. You must train your mind to see the value in consistency. You must remind yourself that every small effort compounds over time. You must celebrate progress, not just perfection. You must give yourself permission to grow gradually. You must trust the process, trust the journey, trust the work. There is power in persistence. There is power in consistency. Over time, they turn dreams into reality. They turn vision into action, action into habit, habit into mastery. Stay faithful, stay diligent, stay persistent. Don't wait for the conditions to be perfect. Don't wait for the feelings to align. Don't wait for the applause or the recognition or the validation. Keep going. Keep building, because here's the truth. You may not see the fruit today, but if you keep sowing, the harvest will come. You may not feel the reward today, but if you keep pushing, the breakthrough will come. You may not feel the impact today, but if you stay persistent, the doors will open. So, I say it again, consistency and persistence turn dreams into reality. Stay on the field. Keep working, even when the conditions are tough. You are closer than you think. Keep showing up. Your future is waiting. What are you saying to yourself when no one else is listening? What words are you planting in your own heart every day? Are you building yourself up or tearing yourself down? Are you speaking life or speaking defeat? Are you declaring your worth or doubting your value? Many people sabotage their dreams not because of external opposition, but because of the internal voice that says, I can't, I'm not enough, I'll never make it, I always fail. I'm too late, I'm too old, I'm too broken. Understand this. The words you repeatedly tell yourself will shape what you believe, and what you believe will shape what you do. If you want to live a life of purpose, if you want to reach your dreams, if you want to walk in your calling, you must learn to speak life over yourself. You must learn to declare your worth, even when you don't feel worthy. You must learn to affirm your value, even when you don't feel valuable. You must learn to call yourself capable, even when you feel weak. This is not arrogance. This is not pretending. This is not pretending. This is choosing to align your words with your purpose, your potential, and your promise, rather than with your fears and failures. Every day you wake up with a choice. Will you speak words that strengthen you or words that drain you? Will you remind yourself of your progress or rehearse your past mistakes? Will you declare your goals or drown in your doubts? No one else can do this part for you. You may have people who cheer you on, people who encourage you, people who speak well of you, But if you yourself are not speaking life, if you yourself are not reinforcing your own belief, you will struggle to stay focused, motivated, and resilient. Positive self-talk is not about ignoring reality or pretending that everything is perfect. It's about choosing what part of reality you will focus on and amplify. Will you focus on your strengths or your shortcomings? Will you focus on your opportunities or your obstacles? Will you focus on what's possible or on what's painful? Your attention shapes your experience and your words shape your attention. When you begin to intentionally declare your worth, to speak life over yourself, to affirm your goals and dreams, you shift your mental environment. You create a space where belief can grow, where hope can rise, where determination can take root. This is especially important in hard seasons. When the path gets rough, when disappointment sets in, when setbacks come, your natural instinct might be to criticize yourself, to rehearse your failures, to question your abilities. But that is precisely when you need to speak life the loudest. You need to remind yourself that you are stronger than this moment, that you have overcome before, that you are still standing, still learning, still growing. You need to declare that this setback is not the end, that this challenge is not your identity, that this delay does not cancel your destiny. The words you choose become the atmosphere you live in. Imagine living in a house where every wall echoes words of defeat, fear, shame, and doubt. Imagine how heavy and suffocating that space would feel. Now imagine living in a house where the walls echo words of hope, faith, strength, and love. That space would feel open, light, and empowering. Your mind is that house. You decide what echoes through it. You decide whether your inner space will strengthen you or weaken you. Sometimes we wait for others to affirm us. We wait for approval, for applause, for recognition. But you cannot afford to wait. You must become your own encourager. You must become your own supporter. You must be willing to stand in the mirror and say, I am worthy. I am capable. I am enough. I am called. I am chosen. I am still here, and I still have work to do. This is not mere positive thinking. This is spiritual warfare. This is how you fight back against the negativity that wants to keep you stuck. Every time you declare your worth, you build your belief. Every time you speak life, you strengthen your focus. Every time you remind yourself of your purpose, you reinforce your resilience. Words are seeds, and the seeds you plant today will become the harvest you live in tomorrow. If you keep planting seeds of fear, you will harvest anxiety. If you keep planting seeds of doubt, you will harvest hesitation. But if you plant seeds of faith, of hope, of confidence, of determination, you will harvest courage and strength. You may think, but I don't feel strong. I don't feel confident. I don't feel worthy. That's why you must speak it. You don't wait to feel it. You don't wait for emotions to lead the way. You lead your emotions with your words. You pull yourself up with your declarations. You lift your spirit by choosing words that align with your purpose. Feelings follow focus, and focus is shaped by words. Make it a daily practice. When you wake up, before the stress of the day hits you, before the distractions pull you in, speak life over yourself. Say, today I am focused. Today I am disciplined. Today I am favoured. Today I am walking in purpose. When fear whispers in your ear, answer it, I am courageous, I am prepared. I am capable. When doubt creeps in, answer it. I have what it takes. I am learning, I am growing, I am moving forward. When shame tries to drag you down, answer it. I am forgiven, I am redeemed, I am free. You have to become the loudest, strongest, most consistent voice in your own life. You have to become the one who cheers you on when no one else does. You have to become the one who stands in your own corner when you feel alone. This is not weakness. This is wisdom. Because if you wait for the world to keep you motivated, you will be inconsistent. But if you learn to motivate yourself, to strengthen yourself, to focus yourself through your own words, you will become unstoppable. Positive self-talk doesn't remove all problems, but it equips you to face them with strength. It doesn't eliminate challenges, but it sharpens your focus. It doesn't guarantee instant results, but it makes sure you don't give up when results are slow. Speak life. Declare your worth, affirm your vision, and keep going. Because your words are not just sounds. They are tools, they are weapons, they are seeds. Use them wisely, and they will shape the future you are stepping into. Consistency, day after day, will build what talent alone never could. Persistence, when the road is long, will pull you through seasons where others give up. And above all, the way you speak to yourself will either strengthen your foundation or slowly erode it. So speak life over yourself, declare your worth, refuse to let negativity take root inside you. You were not created to live small, to hide behind fear, or to give up halfway. You were created to rise, to build, to create, to shine. You were called to walk in purpose, even when the road is hard and the night is long. So lift your head, square your shoulders, remind yourself who you are, and keep pressing forward, because your dreams are waiting and the world needs what you carry. Keep believing, keep focusing, keep working. Your breakthrough is closer than you think.